are live. Wednesday NHL best bets you will not want to miss. We've got them right here on PuckTime, here on WagerTalk TV. Sides, totals, props, team totals. It's a pretty good slate here on a Thursday. I'm here to break it down with you. Of course, I'm Andrew. I've got Carmine, the Prez, and Bryan Leonard with me to break down all kinds of great games. Carm, it was a pretty good Wednesday slate. Kind of funny the way it started with two games that were completely lopsided. And then the late slate ended up having two very, very good games, both ending with the same scoreline of 4-3. So I'm feeling a bit tired today after being up for those late games. But the Ducks keep on rolling, man. The Ducks get the job done. And you and I said yesterday that as much as the books were trying to tell us that it was a kill spot for the Buffalo Sabres, those Flames, they showed up. Just when we think the Flames weren't going to show up, they showed up. Any quick thoughts on last night?
Yeah. Firstly, always check the free play section because I will put up a play in the free play section on NHL. Normally after puck time, if there's something that pops up that I think is the right play, and from an analytics point of view, I took Calgary first period plus 114, and that cashed for anyone who was checking out that site. And then the late games, yeah, two very good ones. Cashed my Anaheim Boston bet in the first 6 minutes of the game over 1.5. I figured we'd see some goals. A little disappointed. The Minnesota, the other game with Carolina, I had under 6 in that game, and just an ugly goal sends it to overtime, tied at 3. At worst, I thought I could have ended up with a push at 4-2 with an empty netter. But 1-1 night for me, and I had a 5% play for today, but I've taken it down because there was an overnight line move that just doesn't make it playable. It's outside of my range for that game. So it happens if you buy it overnight, you got to play it overnight because if the line moves the next day, you're getting the worst of it instead of the best of it. So that's a good thing about having an all access package for NHL, or even that $99 10-day package that we have up as well too. With that said, we got a lot to talk about, Andrew. We're bringing in Lawrence. He's going to do Columbus and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brian's going to do the Seattle and Chicago game. You and I are going to talk about Detroit and the New York Islanders, and then we're going to finish it off with the Rangers in Colorado. I'm not sure if you have a same game parlay. I hope you do. And I've got a pod play for tonight as well too. So with that said, let's get right to it. Let's bring in the guy who cashed his 5% play on the Leafs, the MASH unit.
Yeah, easy winner. Easy winner. How you guys doing, brother? Nice to be here. Hey, consistently getting over. You guys are consistently getting over 3,000 views a day on the show. I want to shout out to your listeners because they are so loyal. But we do need more comments in that comment section, guys. So that's my only complaint as one of the owners of WagerTalk is I'm loving what you guys are doing, but I need to see some more comments. Christopher Ferrari, Unknown, M&M, Counterfeit, Fort, Ethan, OG, Jeffrey, just put something up in the comments for us, please. Thank you. Sorry, guys.
That is A-okay. And you're right, Prez. We need more comments, man. We need more comments because people are watching, they're liking, but the comments, they're on and off. They're on and off.
Well, they're crucial
about YouTube.
They're crucial to the YouTube algorithm.
And the sad part is about stuff is that a lot of times people comment, it's negative. So everybody's just
I don't care.
With us, so there's no
Put
comments.
negative shit up.
So we don't have anything negative going on. So that's why no one's commented. So guys, feel free to comment some positive stuff.
There you go. Cool. Call me a douche.
So who predicted William Nylander to score in overtime to bring your resuscitate your 5% play and turn it into a winner?
You did, Carmine, and I have proof on my own as I was freaking out all game. I was just so angry over that first goal that went in by Nylander. And you're like, don't worry, he's going to score the overtime goal to win it. And you were right. And yeah, that was an easy winner for sure. But it's in the past. Let's move on to today. And Toronto is playing Columbus. This Toronto team is 16-4 to the over on the urine. How interesting is that? We would have thought they would have been an under team coming into this year. This is a team that's really trying to change their style. More of a try to stop cycling and playing in circles, more up and down, more forechecking, more dirty corner work. This is a team that we expected to be a very good team defensively. Same D unit as last year, same goaltending tandem as last year, and they can't seem to get out of their own way. And they went over 10 games in a row before they played Chicago, and the last 2 games have both been 3-2 hockey games, both playing to the under. So where am I going here? I'm going to the under, Carm and Andrew. I know that at 16-4 we should be betting overs, but I think that Toronto is going to become an under team moving forward. I think finally with Joseph Woll back, they're a little bit better settled in net. You know, Chicago put up 32 shots on them, came away with 3 goals. St. Louis put up 29, came away with 2. These are the type of numbers that I think we're going to see on a regular basis. I think Toronto is going to start averaging less than 3 goals a game. And I think they're playing a Columbus team, you know, that has their moments. Every now and again, they go out and put up a 4 or 5 spot. But this is a team that also is looking to play to the under. They just put up 2 against Winnipeg, 1 against the Rangers. This is a team that has scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8 games, 3 or less goals. I like the under here, boys. And we're getting 6.5, which is awesome. Protects us from that empty net. I also think a bet should be made on the Leafs. Now, I know I'm a homer, but I do think the Leafs are going to get their act together. They lost 5 in a row. And frankly, we're lucky to win St. Louis. I feel like that St. Louis game might propel them to a couple of victories. And this Columbus team is not very good, to say the least. This team has lost like 6 of their last 8 games. So, yeah, I'm not high on the Leafs right now, but I think this is a really good spot for them. I like the Leafs and I like the under. Hope that was an okay breakdown. Oh, the under is a client play. There you go.
Well, that was awfully nice of you to give this out. These teams played just before Halloween, I think the 29th of October. Columbus winning that game 6-3. Now, the Leafs were on a great run at the time as far as over-unders go. And that was just another one that hit. The Leafs are currently 16-4 to the over, but 2 of their last 3 games have stayed under. A lot of that has to do, obviously, with the injuries to this team. Austin Matthews being out. 6.5 just seems, I think you're right here. 6.5 does seem a little high, especially given that first game was 6-3, Andrew. And we always talk about first game over, second game under. We'll see if that actually applies here. I was a little surprised that Columbus is actually taking money in this one and our favorites in this one, minus 115. I'm seeing minus 106 for the Leafs. Any thoughts on that, Prez?
Well, I just told you I like the Leafs at minus 106. And
any thoughts of why the number is where it is?
No, it's shocking to me. Why? It's based on the injuries. That has to be the only reason. But I don't think this Columbus team is a good team, and they're 10-8-2 on the season. I think they're going to go 8-10-2 in their next, maybe even worse. So I think we're getting the Leafs at a very, very low market value. With
this
that
is
said,
why
they deserve to be. They're all injured. Yeah, they're all injured.
This is why
I thought that was the starting lineup. I'm like, when did they put Anthony Stolarz on the number 1 lineup?
Their center depth right now is just abysmal. Like, they have no center depth, and I think people won't realize, but the 2 guys on the right with Nicholas Waugh and Scott Lawton, those are probably 2 of the biggest losses on this whole sheet. Hopefully Nyes can be back tonight, Prez. We're not too sure what the deal is with
those
him.
Those are the biggest two losses. Not Matthews or Tanev or Nyes. Not those three. The other two guys that nobody's heard of.
Yeah, exactly. The people that the diehards would know about. And I think that when you look at it, though, look who scored the game winner for the Leafs last game. Nylander. Look who assisted it. Tavares. Yes. They're going to need somebody besides those two players to make something happen. Right?
Bobby McCann for a goal.
Who?
Bobby McCann for a goal.
Okay, I'll take that.
Guys, I got to promote and run, and I apologize. I'm taping the best betting show ever in a few minutes. I really appreciate that you guys get me on a couple of times a week. I love doing the show and always will. I just want to really quickly make mention that I'm on an absolute heater, guys. I'm on a tear. I am 9-2 since Monday in all my bets. 9-2 in my bets. I'm on a huge NHL run. Huge. I got 2 customer plays up tonight. You have one of them. I'm on an 8-3 NBA run. I got an NBA play up tonight. But my NFL is my NFL parlays and ATS bets are killing it. And I have a huge ATS bet up for Sunday and a parlay for tonight. So, guys, we got a great promo up, $99 for the next 10 days of plays. Please use that on me. I'm really seeing things well, and I'm excited about the next 10 days. Anyway, Carm and Andrew, thanks for having me on, guys. I got to run, though.
Yeah, listen, good luck with the taping of the second best sports show around, because this is the best one. But we wish
this
you the
is
best
a hockey show.
And,
anyway, I'm not arguing with you.
Anyways,
bye.
Get him out of here, Dan. Get him out of here. That's it. Kind of like Jazz when he gets thrown out of the house on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We've tossed Prez off the show. Andrew, let's give a shout out to Keaton, or else he's going to keep repeating the same message over and over again to him, and jumbo slice of pizza to him as well too. And the other guy who D-Money, do not have a slice of pizza with pineapple on it. That is just not right. Why don't you just put a slice of watermelon on it as well too while you're at it? It's like there's certain things that don't belong on pizzas, and pineapple is one of them. I talked to, when I was in Italy, Andrew, for 2 weeks, earlier this year, I would talk to some of the really good pizza places in Naples, in Rome, and we joke around about pineapple. And they're like, if someone comes in and asks for pineapple, he goes, we just toss them out of the store. It does not belong on a pizza. It's funny. That's what they would say. So with that said, we got Brian Leonard coming up soon. But Andrew, let's talk about this New York Islanders Detroit game. Detroit minus 135. The Islanders plus 115. Another one of those spots, total of 6 here. I get it. The Islanders are playing well. At some point, they're starting to show a little bit of regression on this team. I'm liking Detroit here. I'm just not sure. At 135 seems about the right price. If this goes up any higher, I probably stay off of it. It's just because the Islanders can score goals, have shown they can score goals in their games this year, as they've been a pretty good team, and they're number ones in goal tonight. Eli Sorokin is confirmed for the game. John Gibson confirmed for Detroit. But I like the Wings. I like the game that they played at I think it was their last home game, Andrew. It's Wings for me. What about you?
Yeah, Carm, I'll tell you, I don't really love this game because this Islanders team is a team that I just really don't want to go against right now. But if you look at all the situational spots, like, it kind of tells us that we should be going against them. Just looking at the travel situation, looking at some of the metrics, look at how that they've kind of gotten worse as every road game has gone on. So kind of want to go against them, but this team keeps on playing really quality hockey. So what I'm going to do is go back on the first period over. Now, I lost on the first period over in the Islanders and Dallas game. And immediately we ended up seeing goals in that second period, and the game ended up almost getting there as far as the full game is concerned. But this is the last game of their road trip. It has been a busy road trip for them. And taking a look at some of these games that they've played against the Mammoth, against the Avalanche, against the Stars, even the games that haven't gone over, and it's been pretty much all of them but one, there's been a ton of pace and a ton of scoring chances for both teams. And when I look at that last game against the Stars, that game ended, or the first period ended 0-0, but there were a ton of chances. And I think that this is going to be one of those games that is the last game of the road trip that does see some sloppiness, that does see the fatigue, the jet lag, whatever you want to call it. They've been traveling around a little bit here. And every now and then, Carm, you see some travel situations that don't really bug you too much, right? A team plays against the Sharks, the Ducks, the Kings. Okay, you're not too worried about it. A team plays against the Canadians, the Senators, and, the Maple Leafs. You're not too worried about it. But this is kind of some unique traveling here for this Islanders team. Now, I'm no geography expert, but I like to think I know a little bit about where every place is. And I think that this has been a little bit of a travel spot here for this Islanders team. And, they could be a little bit fatigued. Now, looking at this Red Wings team, their offense is clicking. They're scoring goals right now. Mason Raymond, Dylan Larkin, the top guns are playing well. They're getting scoring from the third, fourth liners as well. So, guys, when you lose on a bet sometimes, it's okay to go back to it. I lost on a New York Islanders first period over 1.5. And hey, I'm going right back to it tonight here, Carm. So could be a good player prop game as well. Look at some of those. Post on X if I do have any. They are not in the same game parlay, but I'm rolling the dice with the first period over. 0-0 first period, last game for the Islanders. I'm thinking that changes here in tonight's game here, Carm.
Yeah, the one thing, I look at, it's been a very good road trip for them, obviously, for the New York Islanders. And, I've liked betting on this team this season. And I think I picked the right spots on betting the Islanders, when I look at my data sheet as far as profitability, and it's been good with the Islanders. The one thing, Andrew, is, it's the end of the road trip. And you look at, despite a 5-1 record, they have allowed teams just a high XG number pretty much in every single game. I think the total across those 6 games is about 19, but you look at it, you go 5 back, and with their first one, I'm just having a quick look at it here. Okay, so last game against the Stars, 2.65. Okay, that's the lowest one on the board. 311, 327, 541, 495. At some point, their goaltending isn't going to keep those chances out. And I know it's Sorokin for them tonight, but at some point, the goals against them are going to start to go in. And that's when we sort of see that the script gets flipped, Andrew, and they go into a bit of a tailspin. Does it happen here in Detroit? Well, Detroit's 3-0-1 their last 4 games. Should probably be 4-0 their last 4 games, because they blew that lead to the Buffalo Sabres and allowed the Sabres to come back and win that game 5-4 in overtime at Little Caesars. So it's just one of the ways that I'm looking at this game and why I'm leaning Detroit's way. If Detroit can get some scoring going, they'll keep this nice little run that they have going and collecting some points. So it's the Red Wings for me. Thoughts?
I don't blame you. I want to get to the window with the Red Wings as well. Just with this way the Islanders are playing, it's kind of holding me back a little bit here. But yeah, I got to give respect to the Red Wings. I think they do deserve this tag, and maybe we'll see some regression from this Islanders team. Also, let me see if I'm going to do what you just did, and I'm going to try and pull something up while we're live on the show. Shooting percentage on all shot attempts. And when you look at this number, like this Islanders team, they started the season off on a really, really good note. Now in the last 10 games, they're really starting to shift back. They're at 20 now. So Carm, things for them they were like top 10 to start the season out. Every single time they shot, or every third or fourth game or goal shot they put on net was scoring. It was crazy. And now things are starting to level out. And that's one stat that I look at quite a bit, guys, in the analytics department, is shooting percentage on all shot attempts. And I think we're going to start to see things fade out a little bit for them. Just hopefully not in the first period, Carm. I don't mind if it's 2-0. I don't mind if it's 3-0 for the Red Wings or 2-1, but let's just cash that first period over for me. So that's all I got in this game. Shout out to my guy, NHL All-Star Bets. He went to the Canes and Wild game yesterday. We were on a video together actually a couple days ago. That is awesome, except for I will tell you, the Wild were a client play for me, and I waited until the number got higher because the money was coming in on the Canes. I got the plus 150. They blew a 2-0 lead. Carm, this team has more than one goalie now. They have Philip Gustafsson and Wallstead. Wallstead was unbelievable last night. So shout out to him for seeing that one.
Yeah, it was a good game until it wasn't. Unfortunately, I was joking around this morning with Prez about that Minnesota game, and it's like, if you saw the end of that game, obviously the Canes tied up with about a minute and 6 seconds left on the clock. The puck goes through Wallstead, and Wallstead was very good last night. Really like this goalie for Minnesota, but it goes between his legs, and it's kind of rattling around the pads, and then slowly, kind of like a curling shot, just goes over the goal line before one of the Minnesota's defensemen could sort of knock it back between his thing. If I needed that goal, because I had over 6, that thing doesn't go in. I get it. I'm giving you an opinion as a bettor, because we always look at it and we're like, oh, it is the worst puck luck ever. I should have hit it. I should have gone 2-0. I should have had a better night's sleep than I did. But yeah, 1 in 1 day. I'm not happy about it. Congrats to the overbetters. You got one that
Brutal.
Probably shouldn't have. Yeah, it's we talk about puck luck, and I did fall asleep eventually. All I did was have a shot of Bailey's. Speaking of a shot of Bailey's, it is time for Bryan Leonard.
What's up, Bryan?
There he is.
Guys, how you doing?
You're wondering how I was going to segue in with that shot of Bailey's, huh? Bryan, how are things, man?
Everything is great. It wouldn't be a Thursday show without Prez coming in liking the Toronto Maple Leafs and Carmine talking about how bad pineapple pizza is. Yes. And I kind of disagree. Well, I know I disagree with the pineapple pizza. I love pineapple pizza. For a guy who eats a lot of meat on his pizza, it's a nice change to get a green pepper on there every once in a while, or a pineapple. But yeah, everything's going great. Had a big 5% winner yesterday on the Washington Capitals, and got a 4% going today. Hockey's been great. 11-4 run. College basketball. Everything's been great right now. So very excited for this upcoming schedule, and hopefully we can get you some winners today.
Yeah, love to hear it. Congratulations. I didn't even know you had a 5% play.
Yeah.
And,
what a way to bounce back, Bryan.
Andrew, you get Andrew, did you get a text message?
No, my phone's not working, Bryan. I guess it's long distance. You couldn't text me.
I would have let you know, but I didn't decide until
it was intercepted at the border.
I wanted to make sure I was going to be able to keep that number, because you said, like you said, Carmine, you lost your number, and I didn't want to give out a play that people couldn't bet into. So it worked out well. And unfortunately, I'd lost my previous 5%, so I was able to get that back for people. Well,
congratulations, nonetheless. And I'll just mention quickly, because he is one of our regular guests as well, too. Don Buster has a 5% play up, I believe, in the NHL tonight. So you can find that over on his page. And then we'll talk about it a little later on. But Andrew, who's been killing NFL props, has an NFL 5% play up for tonight. But, Bryan, you look at this one. It's such an intriguing game. The Blackhawks are playing some fun hockey. It's fun to watch the Hawks play. Minus 113. Seattle's 107. The total sits here at like 5.5, and you would normally think, the way some of these teams are playing, that 5.5 seems a little low, but I think it's right where it should be. I think Chicago's playing better defensively. I'm not sure where you're going to go with this one, so I have no idea, but I'm loving the fact that the young kids, like Celebrini and Connor Bedard now, are starting to make their stamp in the NHL. They are starting to play extremely well, because I've been one of those guys that Connor Bedard, and Andrew, you know this, I've said it to you many times, Connor Bedard, it seems to be wasting away in Chicago, but that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, they finally got some guys around him. I don't care what sport it is. It's not like the NBA where you can be on a bad team and put up 30, 10, and 8. Like, it's you need good players around you. I don't care what it is. Like, you just need to have some good players around you. So nice to have that for Bedard for sure. And the Blackhawks are more exciting. Bryan, I'm going to ask you this. I know they're not comparable, and I have no clue what your play is on this game. But I said coming into the year that I thought everyone was going to be in love with the Ducks, and it's so far so good. It's worked out for everybody, and I finally jumped in on the fun last night. I was tired of missing out. Do you feel that sort of the same thing's going to start to happen to the Chicago Blackhawks in this particular situation? Like, this is opened up as a pick. Do you feel like we're going to start seeing people in love with this Blackhawks team as well?
I don't think so. I was on here on Tuesday, I believe was the last time I was a guest, and I used Chicago, I believe, that day, and it was a nice play for us. And, once again, I'm finding value on the Chicago Blackhawks. As we see a young team gaining confidence and backing it up with consistent play on the ice. And, you take a look at what Chicago's done this season. They ever played with a plus 15 net scoring advantage on the season, which is actually second best in the Western Conference behind Colorado. You would sit at the bar and you would ask somebody that question, and nobody would get that right. They didn't expect it. But they've had a terrific season. They're 6-2-2 in the past 10 games, so it's not like they're fading at all right now. And, the Blackhawks have played more games on the road than they have at home this year. And they played just once in the last 4 days. So they come into this game rested, and they're looking to end their 4-game homestand. And, Chicago travels to Buffalo tomorrow, and then they come right back to Chicago and play 4 more games at home. So the scheduling advantage here for Chicago is very strong. And when you take a look at Seattle, they've played 10 of their 19 games at home, but they're -3 in that goal differential. They're only 4-3-3 their last 10 games, and they've won just 3 games on the road all season, only once in regulation. And we're getting basically a pick'em line here. This is similar to the game I used the other day. And I said, there's no way that Chicago should be in this price range. And because of that, I think we're getting value again on Chicago here, just because the last few years they haven't been very good. In fact, they've been bad. But, you mentioned Anaheim. I'm not giving up on Anaheim. Look at the teams they beat when they were on their winning streak. They were beating the best teams in the NHL. I still think this team's going to be very good come the end of the season. I think they're going to be a playoff team. So a lot of these teams this year that have not performed well in the past, San Jose's made us money all season long. Just because you were good in the past does not mean you're going to be good every year. And that's the one thing I like about baseball and hockey is you find a lot of these teams, as I mentioned before, that they've just got great camaraderie in the locker room. And those are the teams I'm looking to bet on. And, these veteran clubs that have been there before, a lot of times it's injuries. Florida's got injuries right now. A lot of teams have injuries. Toronto, as was mentioned. But you've got to play with the guys that are on the ice. And I'd rather play a team in Chicago that's playing with a lot of confidence, playing at home with a better scheduling situation, and you're getting them in a near pick 'em price.
Yeah, Bryan, it's a little surprising to me that the price is where it is. I would have thought it's not going to be that much higher, but I would have thought overnight we'd see some movement in Chicago, and they'd probably be somewhere in that 125 range. 113. And I know a lot of guys will probably think, well, there's no real big difference between 125 and 113, but over the course of a year, if you're laying 125 instead of 113 on every single bet you make, it is tough. You have to hit at a higher percentage, a much higher percentage, to eke out the same profit than at playing the game at 113. That's why you look at NFL sides and you find books that have like 8-cent lines. That's where you want to be betting. If the number's the same, you're betting because you have multiple outs and you're getting the best price and best vig price with that. Bryan, Dave, the late great Dave Koken, we used to talk about this during the season, and this was when he was down in Florida and he was just a backup to Bobrovsky. But I think this was before the cup runs for Florida. But Bobrovsky wasn't having a good time of it, and Koken and I had the same opinion. Spencer Knight is the goalie of the future for Florida. Didn't turn out that way. He was still a very good goalie there, but he's showing his worth right now. He really is showing his worth with Chicago, and he's the projected starter tonight against Joey Decord.
Yeah, you get a lot of guys that look great one season and terrible the next. Something clicks for them. I don't know if it's the coaching or just the experience. They've seen it enough. So yeah, I've talked in the past, at least the way I look at it, there's probably 4, 5 legit aces in hockey for goalies that are there every year. But every other year, everything is up and down. And if a guy's feeling it, you can ride that. So it's the goalies don't make as much difference to me. And look at Edmonton. How many different goalies they brought in there, and none of them work. It's just not the goalies in Edmonton; it's that defense.
From a prop perspective in this one, the number isn't out yet, but I mentioned this on my show I recorded last night. Spencer Knight has been going over on his saves at a really high clip. He's been bailing his team out, but he's such a good goalie that it's not really going anywhere. He's just that good. But Seattle is 30th or 31st in the league. Don't quote me, guys, here. 30th or 31st in shots on goal per game. So a lot of people love betting save prop overs, but this is one that I actually isolated could be a save prop under. And I've been diving more into these props for goalies, whether it's specific goals against. Like, here's a good example. Like, there's some games where a team will have not 1, but 2 empty net goals. So if you want to take like a team total under or a team total over for a team, you can actually take a specific goalie under over this many goals allowed or this many saves. So that way you don't have to worry about what ended up happening if the net is pulled or whatever it might be. But if you guys can get somewhere around the 25 to 26.5 number for Spencer Knight, today I'm going with the under on save prop. Just wanted to mention that there, guys. But it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Hopefully they don't need to rely on him too much tonight, Brian.
Yeah, and to someone asking, I think it was GC the third. I think that's GC the third. If it's Decord's first game back, he did miss 5 games, obviously with the injury, but he did play in that loss to the Detroit Red Wings a couple days ago. So he's had 2 days off since. That was the 18th. So he's had 1 day off. Should be fine. They wouldn't list them. And as I said, if you're a goalie dependent bettor, and it's something that Dave Koken, I think that's why he kind of hated doing the show so early in the mornings, Monday to Friday, was that he likes to see the goaltender. So he would put his plays out a little later, but also makes it tougher to comment on them as well too. A quick, before we get what's going on with Bryan, a quick note to one of the guys in our comment section, Jeffrey, there's going to be a lot of chatter on this show. We get our picks in. The show's 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to preview 4 or 5 games, give you a pod, give you a same game parlay. If you need games real fast, there's probably other shows, but stick around because the thought process is what's more important, how we get to a game. Whether you agree with it or not, it's the thought process that you should be learning from and saying, okay, well, I can see where they're coming from here. I can see what sites that they're using and to help that formulate. If you need 6 picks in 60 seconds, tune in on Fridays for 6 and 60. But sometimes you have to embrace the chaos. Now, Andrew, I'm going to put you to the test. Embrace the chaos. Where does that line come from?
I have no idea. No idea.
Come on, man. This is your type of movie. You would pay to go watch this movie.
I wonder if I'm going to know what movie it is. What is it?
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Okay. I actually do know that movie.
Embrace the chaos. Brian, you're embracing the chaos. What do you have to promote, WagerTalk?
Embrace the chaos.
By the way, I was in the front row with my brother-in-law for that movie, and I was falling on the floor in that bathroom scene. Great overall movie. A lot of fun. I talked about how well we're doing and everything. We're on the 22-7 overall run, 12-4 college basketball, number 1 in net profit in college football the last 7 weeks, 11-4 run in hockey, 12-6 NBA, 33-16 college football. So needless to say, it was talked about earlier when Prez was on here, the 10-day special or the Weekend Warrior special. It's a great way to get all of our selections. Right now I've got an NFL play, I've got an NBA play, I've got a hockey play up, and you can get all those for those great prices. It's a really great way to save some money. I do want to mention, we haven't talked about the Edmonton-Tampa Bay game on today's card, but look at that Edmonton schedule. I think that is got to be one of the worst scheduling spots that I have seen in years. They've really taken it to the Edmonton Oilers on this trip. So I put that up as my free play today. If you want to check the free plays up on the site, you can go there right now and you get a lot of free plays in all sports. And it doesn't take you a lot of time to do it. So you could save some time and money by looking at that. But yeah, I've got a free play on that. And I think that's got a pretty good chance of cashing as well on today's card.
Yeah, those the schedule makers haven't been friendly to the Edmonton Oilers. I think every team's going to go through it at some point, Bryan. When I do a lot of these advanced look aheads and stuff, and it's just because of the Olympic break. We're going to see some congested schedules. We're going to see some 3 and 4 nights, some 4 and 6 nights, some 5 and 7s. And you're like, how are these teams even lasting? You know, the 5 and 7s happen because you play a majority of the games at home. And then if you're an East Coast team, it's a quick East Coast trip, let's say New Jersey to New York type of thing through the tunnel and what have you. But yeah, there's as bettors is recognizing it, not just looking at the odds board and saying, okay, well, I like this. Look at the situation some of these teams are in, and you can find a few little gems. So hopefully that works out. Bryan, we always love having you on here, man. You have a 4% play up for tonight. We wish you the best of luck with it. Knock it out of the ballpark. And we hope to see you on more often.
I appreciate it. And good luck to everyone on their 5% plays today.
Andrew, you have a 5% play tonight. You and I are also going to talk the New York Rangers and Colorado. I'm going out tonight. I haven't been out in a while. It sounds like I'm the guy in the penitentiary, but I'm not. I've just been a homebody of late. I just like staying home when it's cold. You would think as a Canadian, I'm a wuss. As a Canadian, I don't want to be out in the cold.
I'm the worst with it too. I hate it. Look, that's why I'm wearing this sweater today. I just got this sweater like 2 weeks ago. I never used to wear camo, and now I'm wearing this comfiest sweater I have right now.
I've got the WagerTalk hoodie that Kelly in Vegas sent to me. Very appreciative of that. But yeah, I went out to get the snow tires done, and that's about it. I don't even know why I put them on because I don't feel like driving. I'm just going to take Ubers everywhere I go because the vehicle shows up warm. But you have a 5% play up in the NFL. Just tell us about it real quickly before we get to this next game, and then the same game parlays and the pod play.
Yeah, Carm, on a pretty good run in the NFL, and pretty much I've stopped it with the sides. I've pretty much haven't been giving out totals. It's just been the player props. Long term plus 33 unit run, 12-3 short term, 22-8 long term. It's been really, really good with the NFL player props. Prime time has treated me very well as well. We cashed an easy ticket on a Monday night, and we're back again, except for it's a 5% play tonight. Texans and Bills. Got a promo code for you guys to use right here. Promo code is SAVE15. SAVE15 will take $15 off. Pretty self-explanatory. Get you guys the 5% play for just $20. So we've got long-term deals going right now. We got the 1-year special. We've got 90-day specials. We got all kinds of stuff going on. But if you guys are interested in this one play alone, which is my favorite play of the week in the NFL, favorite play of the day, really. No 4% plays for me in NHL today, just 3% and 2%. So if you want my best bet in NFL action, as I mentioned, plus 33 unit run in the NFL prop department. You know, it always makes me laugh because I know that some people will say, well, I don't want a prop. I want a side or a total. So I guess they're just choosing how they want to make money because the props to me have been the most profitable so far this season. We can't all be like you, Carm, and going 5-0 with our sides every week. Props have been my thing. So 5% play, save 15, and just ride with me with the props. So we've been doing pretty good on props and parlays with Andy Lang on Monday. So you guys can check out that show as well. Carm, look, if I went like you did with the sides on Circa, then I would be able to release them. But I'm just the props guy, man. I'm just the props guy.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed my 5-0 week. Dan Alexander and I, our trusted producer, are going to talk right after this show to bounce. He's already got 4 of his 5 plays locked in that he likes. I think I've got 4 or 5 plays locked in as well too. But we'll talk about that at another time. But definitely pick up Andrew's play. This way he can fill the other half of the wall with another pitcher up there, or hire someone to center that pitcher. I know, Andrew. I'm just kidding with you. Colorado Avalanche. Yes, we're going to talk about the Avalanche. Minus 210. The New York Rangers plus 170. The total sits here at 6. And the reason we're going to talk about it is because Andrew's going to break this game down, and then I am going to segue into a pod play out of this game. So, Andrew, where are you going with this one?
Carm, this is a game here for the New York Rangers that's going to be questioning some of the leadership on this roster. I don't know if you saw that video floating around, but it was a very, very bad leadership type video with JT Miller being caught pretty much giving up. He's the captain of the team. And if you guys search it up on X or on YouTube, whatever, it's pretty much a video. And it ended up leading to the game-winning goal in Vegas where JT Miller was battling along the boards and he just straight up stopped trying. I don't know if his controller died. I don't know if his brain turned off, but he's the captain of the New York Rangers and he stopped trying. And all of a sudden, Vancouver Canucks fans were having a field day because they said, oh, man, we're so happy we got rid of this guy. We're so happy we kept Elias Pettersson and we didn't keep JT Miller. That was a bad game for the New York Rangers the other night. This is going to be a game I think that they get back on track in, Carm. And just looking at the updated number here in this one, what are we seeing for the updated number? Like minus 208, minus 200. But the total's at 6. Some spots do show 6.5. I like the under in this game. I think we're going to see full-on defense. A little bit of traveling here from this New York Rangers team. Not the best schedule for them by any means. I know people look at the Avalanche and they automatically think overs. They automatically think goals. But I think the offensive play is going to start to run dry for this New York Rangers team a little bit because they haven't been getting depth scoring. It's been the top guys or nothing. And when it comes down to this Avalanche team, they do have the ability to play low scoring and under games. I just think this is one of those games for the Rangers where it's going to be a real test on leadership, how they can play defensively, how hard they can work. Because if you watch that tape, the best players on that team, they got burnt multiple times. They did not play their best hockey. So I will be looking at the under in Colorado and New York tonight. And I'm happy I didn't have a side play, Carm, because I believe you do. What do you have for us?
Yeah, so we are going to segue right into the pod play on this one. You know, when I looked over this card, there's a lot of spots, and I'm going to throw some out there that I do like before we get to the actual image of what this play is. But there's a lot of plays that stood out to me, Andrew, that are not yet client plays. I do have a 2-pack up tonight of the 2 games I believe are the ones that best fit, the model that I have. And then I had a third one, but I took that game off the board. That was a 5% play. Clients couldn't get the price I wanted, so I took it down. I don't want you guys buying a play that you're not getting the best number on. So that one's off the board. But I look at, hey, listen, the Montreal Canadiens. I get it. Washington scored a bunch of goals yesterday. They now head to Montreal, a team that looks like they're hurting, but this is a good spot for the Montreal Canadiens at minus 138. So I want to toss that one out there. And then you guys will remember on the look ahead, I did have the Florida Panthers on the look ahead. I still like that one, even with the VIG at 155. But this game here, Andrew, listen, the Rangers started this road trip with a loss in Vegas, losing that game 3-2. And it's now a couple games for them where they went through that really good spurt of scoring some goals, and especially on the road. And now it seems to be drying up. And it's like, were those games sort of like patchwork? It worked for a while, but they need some replacements in that lineup. It's not looking good for them, and it's not looking good for them going into face an Avalanche team that is not only scoring goals but are winning games. They're first in the West. This team has 13 wins. 12 of them have come in regulation. And of those 12 in regulation, 10 of those games, they have won by 2 or more goals. That is a great number when you're winning games like that. You're winning by margin. And that's not just them just winning by 2. They're winning by 3, by 4. Hell, they went into Edmonton and put a 9 spot up on the Oilers as well, too. So I'm going to take Colorado here, -1.5, +120. 6-game win streak for this team. I believe it'll be 7 tonight with a multi-goal win. We're going to take it 2 to win, 240 as your pod play.
Carm, it's building, man. The bankroll is being built slowly and surely. You're making some Christmas money with those bets, and just kind of one step at a time. So Avalanche tonight, and I love the fact that it's a nice little plus money price there. And I do feel like they're getting the Rangers in a tough spot. That's why I think the Rangers are going to try and make it defensive as long as they possibly can, because let's be real, they don't want to get in a track meet with the Avalanche. But I lean to that same side as you with the -1.5. I want to mention, Carm, if I can pull this up here, 3 trends that we should all be aware of, but good friend Ian Cameron passed along to me the updated numbers. Toronto 13-2 overrun, Montreal 10-1 overrun, and Vancouver 10-0 overrun. So those 3 teams, if you're betting overs in their games, you're having success. If you're betting player props in those games, you're having success as well. And Carm, ever since you said that about my half wall, I'm going to have to get something going up here. That literally my girlfriend was like, why didn't you put it in the middle? And I was like, eventually I'm going to have something over here. And then now every time I talk, it's just weird. The fact that there's something here and something not over there. That's life. That's life, I guess.
Drop me your address. I have a signed photo that I received. I will send you, and you can put it up on that wall. It is a signed photo of Dan Alexander. In his Terminator
AI
outfit.
Dan?
It's
AI
a
Dan.
1 of 1, so it's a 1 of 1, so it's worth a lot of money. Those 1-on-1s are very tough to get your hands on and stuff, Andrew. But yes, embrace the chaos. Give us a pod play.
This is what I got here for today, guys. We've got 4 plays, and I'll tell you what, somebody commented earlier, and I got to respect the comment because Carm, yesterday, all 4 people I had in my same game parlay got a point. We just didn't get there with the shots. That was frustrating. Somebody commented, yeah, Andrew, I played all of your guys for a point and I cashed my parlay. He altered my parlay and was able to cash the ticket. That was kind of funny to mention there. But yeah, Alexander Ovechkin, he gets a goal in the first period, but somehow only gets 2 shots. That was frustrating. But this Montreal Canadiens team is on a huge over streak. They've been involved in a lot of high-scoring games. Kind of a weird and tricky traveling situation here for the Washington Capitals. I know it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, they did play a really competitive game last night, put up a 7-piece on the Edmonton Oilers. Then they got to travel to the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens have not played a game since Monday. Should be a good spot for 2 of the top guys on the team to get a point at least. Nick Suzuki and Uri Slafkovsky, both guys, of course, on the number 1 power play unit. Jason Robertson, 3+ shots on goal. You guys can sprinkle on that 4+ shots because that's where you're going to get good plus money, but we'll take the 3+ alternate line for the same game parlay purpose. Vancouver ranks 27th in shots on goal allowed. And of course, as I mentioned, they're on that huge overrun. And we're also going to take Wyatt Johnston to get at least 1 point. He's been on a roll for the Dallas Stars. That's it for me with this same game parlay, the prop parlay, plus 445. A reasonable price here, guys. Shop around. You're always going to get better places, better spots with better prices. I have no affiliation with some of these books that I'm putting on here. It's just simply putting on some books that I think you guys might have access to. So that's the reason for that. But that's it. That's it for me. And don't forget, guys, we got the 5% play going tonight in the NFL. The promo code, once again, is SAVE15 plus 33 unit NFL prop run. Feeling pretty good about tonight's play. WT.buzz/AM for my 5% NFL play. That's it for me, Carm.
All right, Andrew, wish you the best of luck with that play. I do like it. The NFL game tonight, just speaking of that real quickly, I don't like this game, and I'm a Bills Mafia fan. I think the defense of Houston could give the Bills a lot of trouble, especially if the Bills continue to turn over the ball like they have. You can't turn over the ball 3 times and continue to win games like they have the last few weeks. I think 2 of the last 3 weeks. So that's not making my circa card this week for sure. But I do have 3 plays up in the NFL for Sunday. Really like these ones. They're all 4% plays. I'm going to have a 5% play on Saturday in the NHL. So pick up that 10 days for $99 and you'll get all of these plays, including the return of domestic league soccer, NHL tonight, a couple plays up if you guys want to hit those ones up. And then, of course, the Friday card. So that's pretty much it, Andrew. Looking forward to the next few days. I'm looking forward to going out, meeting up with some friends and watching a ton of hockey and some football tonight, cheering on your 5% play along with Don Busters. So for myself, Andrew McInnis and Dan Alexander, and our guests, the Prez and Bryan, this is Puck Time. We will see you on Friday and the 6 and 60.